Okay, I don't know where this video is going to go, but I kind of wanted to talk about INFJs, hoping the best, hoping to look for the best in people, giving people the benefit of the doubt, being overly trusting to the point of gullibility. Something we need to be aware of. I've learned that you need to see people as they are, not how you want them to be or how you think they are. See them as they are. And they'll give themselves away like immediately if you don't get caught up in the delusion and idealism that we are so accustomed to applying to life. I've come to the I've come to the point. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still believe in love and joy and peace and harmony and beauty in this world. I haven't lost sight of that and those things. However, whenever I encounter someone, I look at who they really are without applying that special coding that we're so like good at applying. You know what I mean? Because we always want to see the best in people, and we hope that they have our best interests in mind, and that's not always the case. And you can see it if you are present and if you're not, like I said, applying your rose-colored spectacles on the situation. Does that make sense? Yeah, so don't get me wrong. Yeah, I still look for good in people, but at the same time, if they show me aspects of themselves that are not in my best interest, I probably won't invest that much time in them. I'll wish them the best. I'll love them from a distance, but I probably will limit my time with them and limit the amount of time I allow them to be in my life. And it's not good or bad or right or wrong. I mean, some people just need to be loved from a distance. It's a reality. You know what I mean? And it's probably because of where they're at, where they're currently at. Like some people are still growing into knowing. Some people are still trying to figure it out. Some people are participating in dramatic events, and if you allow them to, they'll pull you into that. And the last thing you need to do is allow someone to pull you into drama or unnecessary conflict or negative experiences. You know what I mean? Unless that's where you're at, unless you're still experimenting, you're still trying to figure it out, then by all means participate in it. But for me personally, I just don't have time for it anymore. And so when I see people who are dramatic or, have a lot of internal conflict, that's the thing. They have a lot of internal conflict, a lot of things that they haven't worked out within themselves, and they're projecting it externally. And when I recognize these things, I just choose not to participate. I'll be cordial, I'll be kind, but I definitely distance myself and I limit the amount of time that I invest into the person or the amount of time I allow them in my space. You know what I mean? Yeah, so some people are not trustworthy. Some people are, we know this. I mean, especially if you've encountered a narcissist or a sociopath or a psychopath, and it's not good or bad, these people are teaching us to create healthy boundaries for ourselves and to recognize what we will allow or not allow into our life. That's all it is. They're not bad, they're not evil, they're not, like horrible people. It's just that's where they're at and they don't know any better, and then in turn they're teaching us a valuable lesson. You know what I mean? And like nothing has power unless you give it power. You know what I mean? So I had to learn to take back my power and to stop participating in unhealthy relationships, And these people are hurt. These people are lost, and they attach themselves to people who seem to uplift their spirits, but the only person that can lift your spirit is yourself. I think you know that, and you are not responsible for lifting anyone else up. You're responsible, or I mean, it's my personal opinion, but for me personally, I am responsible for myself. I'm responsible for like taking care of myself and, you know, not allowing people into my experience that don't have my best interest in mind, you know what I mean? And I'm not responsible for other people and their experiences, you know what I mean? Um, and I just don't want to participate anymore. I have like limited amount of time and energy in this round, and I am going to, consciously choose to be around people who I don't know, engage with my highest self. You know what I mean? I don't know if I made sense. In fact, I kind of forgot what I was talking about, and that's okay. But yeah, just know that, like for instance, let me give you an example. Okay, so how do I say this without like divulging too much information? There's a person, and this person wanted to hang out with me. And they made several attempts to hang out with me. And for some reason, it just didn't work out. And you know me, I don't like forcing anything. I feel like, if anything is meant to be, it will be effortless and organic. Like it's not a forced interaction. For some reason, this person had made many attempts to hang out with me. It always kind of fizzled out, never fell through. And this person threw a party, and I decided not to go. And this person reacted towards me with hostility. And I was, I could sense their hostility, and so in order to diffuse the situation and to leave the situation neutralized, I explained to that person, and I even apologized. I said, I'm so sorry I didn't make it to your party. I wasn't feeling well. I needed time to myself to kind of decompress and refuel. You know what I mean? And this person was still acting passive aggressively towards me with hostility. And for me, it's like, okay, that just gives me insight into how you would treat me in the future. If I were to invest more time in you and establish a relationship with you, and, seeing that in the beginning phases, it was really like, it was a turnoff, to be honest, because I don't want people in my life who's gonna make me feel bad, because I didn't fulfill their needs or their expectations. Like, like, I don't know, for me, I respond more to kindness and generosity and softness. So if somebody is going to be combative or hostile towards me, that kind of like, I don't know, to me is a reference point to stay away. Because if somebody really cared about you and loved you and had your best interests in mind, they wouldn't treat you as such, So, like, if he had responded in a way that was kind and understanding and compassionate, I would have been like, oh, okay, thank you for understanding, Like, for instance, if the tables were turned and I threw a party and somebody didn't make it, and they apologized sincerely and said why, even if they didn't apologize sincerely, there would be no hard feelings, But anyways, if they did apologize sincerely and they told me why, I'd be like, oh yeah, no worries, maybe next time. It's like a real friend will treat you as such with kindness and respect, understanding and compassion. If they're showing you hostility, that just tells me like, I don't really want you in my life. And that shows me like the maturity level that you're at. And it's kind of like a prelude into how you would treat me in the future, in future circumstances. And I don't really want that in my life, We don't go out of our way to hurt people. So, I mean, why would we want to participate in connections with people who are out to hurt us? I know it's not conscious, but like I said, it shows me the level of maturity, and I just don't want to play that game, and I just don't want to participate in that, and so I won't, and I'll just let that person go in peace. No hard feelings. I'm not going to take anything personally, but I definitely thank you for giving me insight into what I would have been getting involved in, if I had I don't know, invested more time in the connection. Yeah, so, going back to, if it's right for you, if it feels good, and I'm not talking about drugs and stuff because I think drugs and alcohol, and I'm not against that either. If that's what you need to experiment with until you like, garner your tools, then that's cool. But I just feel like these things numb you from feeling your feelings. It's a temporary escape and distraction. And for me, I want to be completely sober and I want to feel everything completely and fully. And another thing, in another vein, like a lot of people complain about being sensitive, but sensitivity is a gift. Like I would rather like feel all my feelings, no matter how painful or not, just so that I am aware of, like how someone else is feeling and how I'm feeling, and then I can kind of like adjust myself versus being completely numb and unable to like recognize, the messages that you're receiving. You know what I mean? Because these messages are really subtle guiding posts towards knowing who you are on a deeper level, and then knowing another person on a deeper level. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. If you learned something cool, if you didn't learn anything, cool. I hope you have a beautiful night. Take care. Amen.